He was a highly decorated offensive player coming out of high school. He's made the switch to get more reps here at Harvard. I think his athleticism and awareness with the ball are going to make a huge difference as he continues to develop.
And Jerry Byrne talked about his progression in the offseason. We said, give us 2 or 3 guys that had great off seasons. Finn Picorni was in that list.
Here's that senior midfield again. I want to apologize to John Arndt and his family. He's out there with Ip and Perry, and here he is with the dodge off the wing.
Arndt downhill being guarded by Owen Finetto, a senior, and he takes a rip to put the first goal on the board for the Harvard Crimson in 2026.
That's a matchup the Crimson have to win. Arndt has been playing since he got to campus. Maybe he's a little upset with me because I left his name off before. But here you see off the wing, he's got the short stick approaching, gets underneath. You can see he draws the slide, steps back over it, beats 2 men, you could say.
It's one of those things about season openers, especially scouting as an opposing coach. Malone across the GLE. Finds Spidell, turning the corner, he misses just high. It's backed up by Harvard. How do you game plan for a team first game of the year?
I think it's easier for Coach Byrne since they've seen Providence twice, but this Harvard team, when they're replacing Sam King and a couple other seniors, that's a tough ask. You know, Miles Botka's contributed a ton for this program as well.
And that's a second goal and the first for Teddy Malone. 2-0 Harvard.
You're seeing upperclassmen contribute here early on, the 2 goals. Teddy Malone, that left hand, I hate to say it, another 5-star recruit for Coach Byrne. Dominant shooter on that left side. And here you can see he gets it onto that low wing against a short stick matchup, which we all know Teddy Malone's going to win 9 out of 10 times.
Not really much sustained offense at this point for Bobby Benson's crew. Trying to replace their all-time leading assister in Ryan Bell, both career and in a single season. Nearly threw the ball away for Matt Lazaro, the Penn State transfer. Bisbee works back to X for Lazaro. Up top now, Rhett Chambers pulls the trigger and scores the first. That's his 9th of the season. Preseason All-Big East performer from Larchmont, New York.
You got to finish those ones, especially in this game. If you remember the Providence team, Rhett Chambers, inside 10 yards. He's got to put that one on cage. They beat Stevens stick-side hip. That was a great, great goal. Brings Providence within 1, and you can see here on the film, he beats the Koenig, a pole off the dodge. Shoots it low for the big man Stevens. It's tough to.
There was nobody at X, so it became a little bit of an easier proposition, but that is 3 times Harvard's defense has held Providence to 1 shot and out.
I know everyone's putting a lot of weight into who's going to recover, or shall we say replace Sam King, but if this Harvard goaltender does a great job with some of the shooters they have coming to Jordan Field, let alone on their schedule, could be a really, really big year for this Crimson team.
How did Graham Stevens impress you last year as a freshman, let alone what he's done in the offseason?
He just played great. He stood tall. He's got a big frame. He's a true stopper. There's Jack Peterson, another 5-star to Manhasset. The junior last year as a sophomore went between the offensive and the defensive midfield, and I think he's really going to have a great year. He's already been on the field for 3 shifts. Here you can see the ball spin. Cortez gets to Peterson. Another wing dodge. You can see him on the short sticks. Harvard's being very deliberate. They call that an F possessions where a lot of on-ball picks and action like that. Now they're giving the short sticks a lot more space to almost force a slide and then space out the defense.
Lazaro completely taken out of the equation. Little stumble by Jaskowitz. Lazaro trying to be that facilitator, turns the corner and scores low. He only played 2 games at Penn State, but he has had a breakout as a junior here at Providence. That is goal number 7 in game number 3.
That is a big-time move. You can see Harvard spins the ball through X, No kidding around there. Lazaro's just left-handed to a left-handed. I've learned on the sideline. Stay dry as best you can. Wear a hat.
It's a 3-2 lead for Harvard here as we begin the second quarter. Providence winning the faceoff. That's back-to-back faceoff wins for the Friars. Don't get too close to those heaters, by the way. I have seen people's gloves set on fire.
Pretty interesting first quarter there. You would have thought Providence would have come out a little sharper early on with their 2 games. But now we're maybe seeing it level off, or maybe seeing some of the initial enthusiasm kind of wane. We will see, but Providence is much more deliberate here on offense than they've been moving the ball.
They're whipping it around on this possession in a way that they haven't so far. Bounce shot for Joseph, finds the upper left 90. Goal 97 in the career of the senior.
That's a lot of goals. And you can see how sharp Coach Benson, with his third kind of look on offense here, less dodging, more ball speed. And you can see the Harvard defense is reacting and having to approach.
And off the stick of Lazaro playing up top. Turnover by Providence.
First unforced turnover for Providence, and you can see they really needed that. Their first possession, they got a goal. Here's Peterson looking to leg it out. Another opportunity for this Harvard offense to get going here, hopefully grab a 4-3 lead. Once again, it's Cortez. It's Jackson Green. Owen Guest is still out there. It's going to be a good group. They are riding these front 6 in the midfield.
Cortez, 55 and white, typically not a guy that shoots for himself. He's more a facilitator. Works it behind X, shot goes low and scores. Teddy Malone's got 2.
I think Teddy Malone was a little upset with all that Sam King love that he was avoidant of last year. Teddy Malone is going to have a great career. He had a great sophomore year. He's going to have a great junior year. He can relax a little bit, and you can see Cortez with the pole, gets a little deep. You got to know Malone's going left hand. He split dodges. Maryland, like Syracuse, that allows them to really work on these pieces that can be very impactful to start the year. Coach Byrne mentioned that specifically on the field when we spoke to him before the game, and you can see it's already paying off.
They've got the bubble here at Harvard, over at Harvard Stadium behind us. Jack Spidell to his left. Spidell's got a short stick on him. Back to his left hand. Slide came over, tried to find Masnick out in front. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. A little bit of a hurried approach. Yep, doorstep, bounce shot, and a goal. Flag flies as well. That's the first for Cobrey.
I think you could hear a collective, deep breath release there. Nate Cobrey's on the board. The Sam King ghost can be put to sleep a little bit, but you see it behind the cage. Cobrey playing great off ball. Providence
with the penalty on the goal. So Harvard will be man up in this situation. Jack Bourget for the check, sophomore, in the sin bin with 8 minutes left to go in the first half, and Harvard trying to pump up what would be its largest lead of the game.
1-3-2. My money to yours. It ends in a 3-3. There's the skip pass. And there you go.
On the bounce shot makes it 6-3. And after not converting on the first man up, Harvard takes all of 25 seconds to do it on the second. One shot.
That looked really easy. You could see them changing formations. They go from a 1-3-2 to a 3-3. Logan Ip really comfortable in that top center spot. And you can see how crisp both the offense was, the passing, and also the movement off ball. One pass, 2 passes to a great shot from 12 yards.
That's Cannon Ridinger, the freshman. It had been all Chris Esposito and Cooper Jack in the first half, but Harvard dominating at the X, which was not something we said a lot last year. So the third man that Providence tries also falls victim to Owen Umansky, who's taken that job and run with it. Here's Logan Ip. Around goal line extended, shot goes low and scores. It's Malone again. Big time confidence booster. That's a hat trick.
Of all the players that I thought personally needed to come out and put some balls in the net, it was Teddy Malone. He had the great freshman year, produced last year, but I think this year I'll put him right now at a 40-goal scorer for the Crimson. And you can see off the ball speed, here's the dodge. That's the same place, but this time he went right-handed, two-handed.
Else in the first half for Providence, and the Friars do get across successfully.
We have a great group of people. This is the biggest game in New England today. I know there were a few around the region, but a shout out to all those boys that trade with me. Just want to say thanks for the text during the game. We always try to let the locals and everybody who's watching us know that we appreciate the attention.
Jaskowitz to the right hand, and Stevens squashes it low and then starts the break. Nice feet up ahead for Harvard. Jensen goes to the doorstep, score with a flag. It's the second for Cobry.
You can see Mr. Pinciaro there. That's a push on the doorstep. The goal will stand. Nate Cobry really making the easy plays look even easier. Great transition here. You can see gets to the spot. Great look by Spidell, beating the defense downfield. And Cobry just...
Malone flings it high. Backed up by Jackson Green.
Another around the corner, around the goal move. Harvard just is imposing their athletic will on this Providence defense.
Peterson got slid to around goal line. There's Cortez. Cortez and Green have the short sticks. Back to X for Spidell. That versatility in who can be a facilitator, and it leads to another Harvard goal.
The lefty from Pennsylvania, Teddy Malone, is looking to make a statement today. You see the ball spin to Jack Spidell. He's behind the cage, the big finisher from Long Island, behind the cage. Sets up his line mate, Teddy Malone. You can see the ball spins deep. Spidell skips Cobry, goes right to Malone. And Malone kind of like the left-handed version of Joey Spallina's move.
Syracuse is on Saturday, the next Saturday on Long Island against Marquette. The next Saturday, neutral game in Houston against Michigan. You got North Carolina coming up on March 29th. That is also a neutral game in Maryland.
In Baltimore, where Carolina does a ton of damage recruiting, they are going into these hot spots looking to send the message, give some exposure to the program to the rest of the country. But this is the biggest, baddest schedule that Coach Byrne has put together at Harvard.
Also says something that Harvard is in those games. You don't wind up on these neutral site opportunities if people don't want you to come to them.
And the administration is being so supportive of Jerry Byrne in the goal, allowing them to travel and fund all this.
That was awesome. Matt Lazaro went go-go gadget legs, or excuse me, go-go gadget stick, plucked that ball out of the sky, and then flung one home for his second goal of the game.
We haven't seen a lot of Matt Lazaro as an off-ball shooter running the arc up top, but we saw him come from his natural left side. The goal is on the right side of the cage.
Ball's picked up by Harvard, never went out of play into the corner. Crimson respond quickly, and Ip with 2.5 works it back into the offensive zone.
They're going to change up the midfield here. Andrew Perry had to go play some defense, just like Logan Ip. You get Cortez, Green, Peterson. Almost at 2 minutes on the clock here. I'll be interested to see if they have a green light, but you can see they're spaced out. Spidell's going to bring the crease in. Let's see what happens.
Have you liked what you've seen from Peterson so far?
I do, because he was very highly touted out of high school. Last year he played in the defensive midfield a little, and this year he's back to playing offense. And you see just a heavy hammer shooting by Jack Spidell. That's a 12-yard shot that the goalie saved, and then it turned over the goalie stick and dribbled into the goal.
You make your own luck. It's the first goal of the season for Jack Spidell. Good things happen when you do good things.
Here's your dodge with Jackson Green. He moves the ball. Malone skips it back, so he gets the assist. And you can see